Okay. And so the format for our post-game press conferences is that we will ask Coach Izzo for an opening statement. We will then open it up to questions for the student athletes. And then after the questions for the student athletes have concluded, we'll open up the floor to questions for Coach Izzo.
Well, it was a game that I thought was one of the more bizarre. I thought we were playing Purdue. It was a fist fight. It was physical. It was kind of out of control. I thought we did some very, very, very good things when we had the 11-point lead. And then Nick, as good as he was in that stretch, I didn't think we took over. And I blame Miles, and I blame Cassius, and I blame myself. I thought we got sloppy there for a while, and that lead changed like that with a couple of bad shots. And second half, we got rolling again, and thanks to Cassius running the thing, and we really went to Miles, and Josh we went to all night. So I thought everybody stepped up, and kind of ashamed that they hit all those threes at the end. But at the same time, give them credit. They made some shots. I thought for the most part, second half, we played very, very, very well, even defensively. And I thought offensively, we moved the ball very well and even missed some good shots. So considering the layoff, I thought we were pretty sharp in maybe 30 minutes of the game. But when we weren't sharp, that was really disappointing how we kind of, it wasn't one mistake, it was like threes. There was threes and fours, and that's got to change if we're going to be moving on.
Okay, we're going to open up the floor to some questions for the players. We're going to go with Larry first.
Miles, you just talk about dueling a little bit with Thomas and how unfortunate it was that he fouled out, you know, even as a competitor, that he fouled out there on a technical.
He's a great player, but it was good for us that he fouled out. But no, he's a great player. We don't want to give him any open looks, and we had him work for every shot he got today, but he did a great job.
Cody
Tucker, Lansing State Journal. Tom, you said Xavier was going to get some playing time?
I think it's players first, right?
Oh, it's all players first. Okay. Guys, Miles, can you please talk about the night Xavier Tillman had tonight? He didn't play like a rookie, did he?
No. Actually, he's been great for us all year. He plays like a veteran big. He talks on defense. He likes to move the ball on offense. I love when X is on the floor.
Ryan Schuling, the team, 92.1 FM in Lansing. Josh, hitting that first shot, how much did that take, maybe a burden off your shoulders, and as you continue to hit shots, take us through what was going through your mind getting in that rhythm?
It felt good hitting that first shot, but I think the biggest thing I was trying to focus on was just trying to help my team win, and that was on the defensive end, not just on the offensive end. You know, my teammates did an unbelievable job of finding me.
We got over here.
Vito Churko, Detroit Sports Podcast Network for Cassius. What was it like playing this first-round game in Detroit?
It was great. Look up there. I saw my brothers and my family. You know, my grandmas and stuff was in the crowd. So, you know, they don't get a chance to come to a lot of games, especially at this stage. So, to have the opportunity to play in front of them at this stage was amazing.
Jim Comparoni, SpartanMag.com. Cassius, talk about Langford and the way he began today. And at that time, Bucknell was making some nice shots. Can you talk a little bit about the game that Joshua had tonight and you facilitating the ball to him a little bit?
Oh, yeah, definitely. You know, when Josh hitting shots, my assists, they skyrocket up a lot. He was due for this type of game. You know, the amount of time he puts in the gym, his shot's going to fall. We knew it was coming. So, he picked the perfect time to get it going. So, yeah, we always looking for him, always getting pinned downs. We trust him with the ball and making those shots.
Ryan Cole, Impact Sports. For Josh and for Miles, first half, it looked like it was going to be Josh's kind of game. Second half, more of Miles. What does that say about the threat that you guys can be in this tournament?
I think that speaks volumes about how deep our team is, and that's something that, we've always talked about since the beginning of the year is how, how good our depth is, and anybody on the team can get going, and it just speaks a lot, about the team and how unselfish we are as players.
Yeah, we're opening the floor for everybody else. Nick did a great job by posting up, getting us open looks. And Cash did a great job by facilitating to us. So we just try to take every shot they gave us.
Amanda Smith, Global Basketball. Miles, 29 points for you, a whole lot of green and white cheering you on. What role did the atmosphere play for your team tonight?
Oh, yeah, our fans. I feel like we have the best fan base in the country. They really came out and supported us today, and that really helped us when we were down a little bit. When Bucknell was going on the run, our crowd really got us going.
Right here in front.
Cassius, can you talk about your alley-oops that didn't make your coach real happy and one that got Nick hurt?
Man, you had to bring that up, huh?
I don't care right now. It's no big deal.
Nah, sometimes I get in the habit of trying to make a big play or a home run play, which I got better at, but I got to break that habit. Try to make an alley-oop to Miles and one to Nick that almost got him hurt. So I got to do a better job just playing smarter. Looking at the situations.
We'll take one more for the players, and then we're going to let them head to the locker room. Rico?
Spartan beat 92-1. Guys, did you feel any effect from the long layoff from not playing for about 2 weeks?
No, I feel like our practice really helped us get going because our practice, when we're practicing hard, it feels like games. So it got us ready for the tournament.
Yeah, definitely. If you would have been in the gym with us, you would have seen that, we was going at it for sure. We wasn't sitting back and chilling or nothing, so we was going at it. So out there, it almost felt a little better to be out there playing the game,
I agree with those guys.
Gentlemen, we're going to let you head back to the locker room. The Michigan State locker room is going to be open for about 20 more minutes. Right now, we will open the floor for Coach Izzo, please. Right here.
Jeff Lesson with Entercom. Coach Izzo, where is this team at compared to where you need them to be to go forward in the tournament, especially against some of the bigger teams coming up?
Well, we said going in, DJ and I talked about, we kind of talked about our substitution pattern. We said we were going to put X in there early. We said we were going to get Ben in there. Kind of unfair to Ben because, he hasn't played much, and yet he's been doing such an unbelievable job in practice, especially against zones in that. Our offense works better through him. We wanted to get his feet wet. Like I said, I was really pleased. I mean, it shouldn't have been a 4-point game, and taking nothing away from them, but I thought we played very well for most of that game. They're a good team. I mean, I saw some of the 3 and 2 and 4 seeds, or 15, 14, and 13 seeds, and I swear to God, when I first watched them on film, I said, this is Middle Tennessee plus, and I think what we didn't do, and I did tell Cassius and Miles this, when we made a mistake, we let it carry over to 2 and 3 and even 4 a couple times. And I told Nick that. And so, we're still growing. I mean, we're still trying to get better. But we really took a big step because it was a physical game. I can't believe Josh Langford got a technical. He hasn't said a word since he's been on campus, There were some questions I had on some things, but I thought in general, considering we're playing without Jaren Jackson, who when he was in there was awfully effective for the, 5 minutes he was in there. And so I think this team still has a ways to go. I think we found out what we said, that a tough player makes a difference, and Xavier was just tougher than everybody. And Miles is right, I did get on Miles. I got him on a halftime, but boy, we started running some stuff from him. He started answering the bell, one right after another, and the tip dunk kind of typified it. And so I think we're making some progress. We took a step forward. There's no question about that.
Try it again, Coach.
You got it.
Xavier Tillman, you said he was going to get a lot of playing time, and we were going to see him on the floor early. He didn't play like a rookie tonight, did he?
No, I think the best thing that has happened at our place is over the years I've always taught guys that are players that aren't getting enough reps to be on the scout team. And that kid is so good on the scout team. He never took one rep with anybody other than he played Bucknell all night. But he's so smart, a little bit like Draymond. He's got a little bit of that cerebral basketball smarts. And he picked up everything from watching film and running their offense. And it was amazing, I think, what he did. And I think those guys were excited about it. And yet I thought Nick, did some good things. So the two of them together was a pretty good combination.
Justin?
WXYZ TV. Miles Bridges' selfish basketball is fun basketball to watch. Is this the tip of the iceberg or more of what's maybe below the surface for him?
Yeah. It's funny, you know, most coaches, we're always dying to say we have an unselfish team. And I keep telling this guy he's got to be more selfish. That shows you how sick I am. But I would have to agree with you. You know, I like the selfish one. But it was a combination, too, you know. We went to him. The players wanted to go to him. But he wanted the ball, too. So, yeah, I think you're going to see more and more and more of this. And yet the guy that didn't get many shots tonight that I think has played pretty good game, too, was Cash. I mean, I guess he got 8. But, you know, maybe the key to this game was we finally got in a fist fight and dealt with that. And number 2, 10 turnovers in a game like that was pretty good. And that was probably the difference in the game.
Ryan?
Coach, there's madness and then there's chaos. I'm thinking back to 2000 Iowa State and how crazy it got, and where this compares with the technical foul on Thomas. He's gone, but then they come back, they get threes. Take us through what's going through your mind.
Well, I wasn't. I'm not setting up a birthday party with those guys. That's for sure. We're not. You know, I didn't like the way it went. I mean, I really didn't. But they probably didn't like the way I was either. So I understand that. But I thought it got so chippy, and just like you said, and that technical on Josh Langford, I'll go to my grave saying there's no way. It's just because I know the kid. I mean, there's times I wish he would get one. And but at the same time, you know, they made all the threes. If they didn't, we would have probably had an incredible defensive night. I think they hit like 4 at the end, and I give them credit. But this time a year, I thought we played well enough for a large stretch of that game that we can build off that.
And over here, we're going to take 2 more questions over here.
Coach, Nathan McHugh, Titan Sports. What was the biggest challenge in defending Zach Thomas tonight?
There really wasn't much of one. I mean, we didn't defend him, so I mean, it wasn't. What we were going to try to do is not let him drive left. He did that. Not let him shoot threes. He did that, and not let him get to the free throw line since he gets there 9 times a game, and he got there 11. So I'd say that in general, the coaches did a poor job on the game plan because we didn't take care of the things that we needed to take care of. You know, I was disappointed, but Jaron did a hell of a job on him. And then, but I don't know how many minutes he played. It sure didn't seem like many. And that hurt us. It hurt us a lot. And normally I'm talking about Jaron. I said, oh, you know, he makes some dumb fouls. I didn't feel that way tonight.
And the last question to Nicole.
Tom, Nicole Auerbach, The Athletic. I'm wondering if you could walk us through when you see Nick take that fall. It looked really scary when it happened live. And then also just when he came back in the game, he had great defense in the post and just kind of what he brought.
You know, Nick, you know, at times Nick's an interesting guy to coach, but he's grown up so much, and he's so much better of not letting things get to him as much as he used to. Now he still has his moments, but I've been really, really, really pleased with Nick Ward. His play, his practices have been off the charts. And those guys are right. I mean, we had a good couple of days. We took a little time to kind of bond, and then we went at it from last Thursday on. And I thought that helped Nick a lot. I mean, Xavier and Gavin really beat him up, and Nick handled it well, you know, and when he stayed within himself, he was great, and it seemed like he got a little excited and all of a sudden started running plays at a different speed, and when that happened, it wasn't as good. But I wasn't worried about him being hurt. Nick's probably my toughest guy in the team, but when he did lay there a little while longer, I don't know, and he jumped up, I don't know if he was just taking a rest or what, because when he jumped up, he looked great to me, and he wanted to go right back in.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
The Michigan State locker room is going to be open for about 13 more minutes.